Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 5 of our Timberborn playthrough. If you guys are new to the series, definitely check out some of the older videos. Check out some of my other series in this game as well as others. We will go through a quick recap and then we'll get into episode 5. Alright, so episode 5 here. In the last episode, episode 4, we worked on our cassava production, finally got that up and running. We've got 239 fermented cassava currently available, which is pretty good. We worked on getting our power up and running. This is working great. A little bit of housing and just generally kind of cleaning up some of the stuff. Now, in between episodes 4 and 5, I actually let the beavers work quite a bit. We can go into triple speed here. I let them work quite a bit, finishing up some of the big building projects that we had. So they finished up this power, which is working great. It is producing 2,700, roughly. I let them finish up this path to kind of get stuff more connected. And then, they just kind of got working on some of the other stuff that we've had built. So they're almost done with this dam over here. That's going to be great. I am aware that people are leaving comments that we're still going to have problems with bad tides. I do have a plan. But for now, this is what we're gonna go with. So let's kind of think about some of the stuff that we want to work on right off the bat. So we want to get this cassava production fully up and running. Now we're gonna need a little bit more storage, obviously. But Pingowers left a great comment saying that we should not put shrubs in here, and instead we should put a crossover to make it easier for them to get to it. Now, Pingowers, I completely agree with you. They need a shorter distance, but I cannot get rid of at least all the shrubs. So I'm going to leave these shrubs in here. You know what? In fact, let's high prioritize that. And then let's, you know what? Let's actually, what we're going to do is we're going to get this whole setup built as our priority. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to run a path like this, and I'm going to get this connected up so that they can walk this way and kind of get around that way. It's shorter. I feel like it's a good compromise, So once they get these removed, we'll go ahead and add that path in, and then we can actually relocate a nice shrub right there. So that'll be perfect. I think that will satisfy everybody. So our population's doing pretty good. We do have all of our breeding pods currently up and running. That might be just slightly aggressive, so let's keep it going until we actually fill up all these jobs, because we're probably going to be adding more jobs. I mean, we got a couple here. We got a bunch of farmers coming in, so we are going to need the population. Water, I am slightly concerned about the water. If I'm being completely honest, I'm just a little concerned that we don't have enough water production. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to mirror these water pumps on the other side, and we definitely won't have all of these operational. I mean, that's 10 water pumps. That's a ton of water. But we do have haulers, and we're just not quite keeping up. I mean, we're getting, a pretty decent amount, but I'd just like a little, even if we have this whole side paused, I would still be more comfortable having them there. So we'll get those mapped out. And then we can go ahead and we can throw a shrub right there. Perfect. So they'll get this stuff built, and then we can add in our last power. So these are all maximum priority, working on the fermented cassavas, which we no longer have enough storage for. So why don't we come into our storage? I don't think we need the large warehouse yet. I think we'll just keep going with the small ones. But we are going to need to get this area built, and then we are going to need to add in some warehouses. Before we do that, let's get our redundant power wheel in here. I think what I'll have them do is we will demolish all of these. I don't know, are these considered buildings? Nope. I don't know what okay, so cool. They're considered resources. But that way we can kind of expand this little platform area out a little bit, which I think will be good. All right, so they got this built, so we need to get a power thing right there. What are these called? Straight power shafts. So we need to get one of those in, and then we can place down our shrub, and then we can start working on kind of expanding this. So if we start to map this out, so we'll have platforms coming all the way out here, and then our large power wheel is actually going to sit right here. And the power will wrap around the back here and connect in. And that'll just provide enough power for these to operate in some capacity during the droughts, which I think will be good. Okay. So they got that in, so we can actually go ahead and add in shrub there. And then why don't we add in a pair of scratchers right there. And then we have another spot for shrub. Perfect. Perfect. We love shrubs. All right, so they'll come in. So let's see this again. So our power wheel is going to sit right here in this orientation. So we're going to need a path coming to right here, like this. Might as well just run that through there. So this is kind of the space we have to work with. We could probably throw some stairs in there just to kind of get up here. Don't know where we're going, but it's always good to have some stairs. And then we can kind of start to think about how we want to fit our storage in here. So we could fit 2 storage buildings here. I'm trying to think, would it make more sense to orient them like this? One here, that would kind of give us an awkward gap in the middle. So yeah, why don't we do 2 storage buildings like this? And these will be for fermented cassava. And then I think what we'll actually do is we'll go into our well-being, fit a scratcher right there, and then add a platform. And then we could actually do 2 storages like this with a path running this way. Probably get rid of this path. And then we've got this little area. Not sure what we're going to do there. But these will also be, this will all be fermented cassava. Because the way I look at it, you can never have too much food. And then we'll actually use these stairs and we will wrap this path around like that. Perfect. Then we could go in, we could get some rooftops on here. Might as well. That'll be nice. And that'll be a nice big storage area, so we will just have tons of fermented cassava in here. And why don't we put this whole thing on medium high priority. Although I would like them to get rid of those, so that we can actually finish mapping out the this platform structure and actually start to get our large power wheel in there. All right. So the power wheel, again, is going to sit just like that. And now we need to start to get our power shafts linked in. So I'm just going to have them build those 2 first so that we can start to attack this. Why don't we get those built? So they can kind of build it from both sides, which I think would be good. Perfect. So we got a lot of stuff being built. We are going to need to get this farm up and running because we're not, I assume, I mean, I could be wrong. I think the only reason that we're keeping up here is because we are limited on our storage for fermented cassava. So these are actually just aren't working, if that makes sense. But we are going to need to get more cassava planted for sure. For sure. But okay, so we're getting the power linked up. So this will go like this. Build those. So that we can then just continue to kind of walk it back. You know what I mean? One at a time. Cool. And we got some more cassava storage, and immediately it is full. Immediately. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, honestly. We are just about full up on kohlrabi. I don't know if we need a ton more kohlrabi storage. I mean, probably wouldn't be horrible. I could probably fit like some large warehouses in here. This could just be like a storage area, which could be kind of cool. But okay, so they got those things, those power corners built. So we're going to need one here, one here. Again, high priority, so we can keep working this back. I guess that one doesn't need to be high priority. Doesn't need to be. But yeah, you can kind of see that now we're starting to eat into our cassava, our raw cassava supply. So this is going to need to get built up a little bit, so we can keep up with the cassava. And honestly, I don't know. I don't even know if we can keep up with the cassava. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. But all right, get this power shaft in there. We could probably go ahead and get a shrub here. I am going to get that built just so that we can then template something right there and kind of forget about it, and they can take their time doing whatever they want. I might actually... How many breeding pods could I fit over here? 2, 4... I could fit 6 there, so I could get rid of this whole row. Plant that up with cassava. I feel like that's a good use of that space, actually. And then that gives us more growable space right here. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So now we can start to connect this. And we actually have a drought incoming, which is pretty cool. So why don't we get all of this built and this power wheel, just so that we can keep this up and running during the drought. I think that'll be good. How are we doing on water? We are actually coming up, so maybe this was not necessary, but I'll let them build it anyway. You know, I feel like that's not bad to let them build. But all right, so our next priority is going to be this whole area. That will be our next priority, and then obviously we need some roofs on there to make it look good. Because everything we do is aesthetic, obviously. All right, so let's take a break from that. There was one other little project I wanted to do over here. I wanted to increase our wood storage right here, so we can actually throw another pile on there. And then if we bring this out, let's see. I feel like I kind of just want to do that. And we can throw some stairs on there. And then we could actually throw some stairs like that and get up there. Not sure where we're going to go with that, but I think that'll be good. Getting a little bit more food storage. And okay, so the drought is upon us, so we will go ahead and pause our water pumps. Because no more water is flowing. Okay. Not sure where my water layer went. There we go. Cool. Which is why I really want to get this up and running. It does take so many logs, though, 100. But it generates a ton of power, so... And we have the logs. It's just a matter of getting it built. Okay. So I think as these... Yep, so we can actually get rid of this one and this one. We can get rid of all of those. We'll let this one finish. Those logs picked up. And then we definitely want to get these breeding pods up and running. Because I did just cut off a decent chunk of our ability to produce. Alright, so how much power do these need? 200. So if we drop this down... Yeah, so we want 3 beavers there to to keep the cassava production up and running. But all right, why don't we get these breeding pods built? Just because I'm a little worried that I just destroyed our reproductive ability. We'll just get rid of those because there's no storage for them. And then we are getting the farms up and running, which is great. So we could actually come over here and plant cassava all through here. I want these guys to be focused on the cassava. Is this done? Not quite. Almost, though. And then we can go ahead and delete it. Get it out of here. So we now have a ton of... We actually have just as much cassava as we have kohlrabi, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. And once this breeding pod is finished, we will go ahead and delete it. Get rid of that, and then we can go ahead and plant some cassava in there. Perfect. And then I really don't think that we want all of these to be operational. Maybe 4 for now, just to kind of keep our population going at a stable pace. I don't want it to, you know, completely explode, but I think a stable pace would be good. And then why don't we continue to expand our water storage? Perfect, and we will get these marked as water. Because our population is increasing at a fairly steady pace. I think we finished the last episode with like 60, 55 beavers, and now we're at 69, so that is pretty significant. Pretty significant change. Okay, so everything is built now that we want. I think we'll go ahead and prioritize this whole thing so we can continue to get logs stored up, which will be good. And then we definitely want to get these farms up and running so we can keep up with the cassava, because right now we have no available cassava. I mean, that being said, we have a ton of cassava stored. We just don't have any being produced, any raw cassava stored. So definitely want to get that going, which I think will be good. All right, so they're almost done with the log storage. Just need to finish that one set of stairs, and then we should be good to go. And then all of our lumberjacks should run around and cut down some logs. Let's see how we're doing over here. All right, cool. So this is actually built up, so we can go up to 2.5 now to store a ton of water when that drought ends, which is going to be good. We do have plenty of water to get through this drought. Only a day left, so we should be fine. And then this is keeping up with the power needed, although there is no raw cassava for them to actually use, which is pretty funny. But I mean, our fermented cassava is completely full up. So that's really good. All right, let's pivot to another little project. We're going to work on our housing because we have 22 homeless beavers. 22. Which is kind of a lot. And I kind of thought it could be cool to put a little housing area like right down here in this kind of dead space that we have. So if we were to fill this with some platforms, just kind of like that, we could then put a couple barracks in here. We could probably get rid of those. And then we could go ahead and throw just a couple paths in there like that. Some shrubs, obviously. And then some roofs on here. And this will just be like a little, you know, a little housing area, which I think would be really nice. All right, why don't we get this built first? along with, obviously, the shrubs and the scratchers. Priorities, right? And then we will come through and we will actually get all of this built. That'll be our next priority. So that'll give us 20 houses, which will just break us even. I don't think it's going to be enough to keep us going for too much longer. But we actually just got access to this portion of the hillside over here, which I think is good, and I think we can kind of start to do some housing stuff over here. So let's see, could I fit a large barrack over here? No, because the path would have to come out over the farmhouses. I could fit it here though, if I wanted to. So I could do something like that, and then get a large barrack there. And then a couple triple platforms. Like that. And then these would be singles. Could put like a row house there, and then we would just need some stairs coming up, and that would give us a decent amount of housing. And then I think what would be nice is getting another rooftop terrace up here. So if we go to our well-being and grab our rooftop terrace, we could get a rooftop terrace in there, and then to get up there we would need some stairs, which I think I'll back out just a little bit so that we can go both directions. And then we would need to be able to get up here, which we could do. So if we got a platform there, and then a couple triples here, like that. That would work. That would work. And then I guess we could get a double there with a shrub. Obviously. Okay, cool. So we're getting this stuff built. Population's continuing to rise, but that's okay. And they're working on this little housing complex down here. So that's going to be perfect. So let's kind of take a little note of what we've got done. Oh, we need to open up our water. Yes, we do. Completely forgot about that. But okay, and we have a ton of water stored up here. Look at all this. And this is going to be terrible once the bad tide comes. But again, we have a plan for it. It's just going to take a minute to activate the plan. And by a minute, I mean that we're going to need explosives, a ton of explosives to kind of do what I want to do. But that's okay. That is okay. All right. So I think we've reached the point where we probably want to start gathering some metal. So let's just kind of look around. There's huge metal supply over here, which we could kind of actually get to from that dam. There's a decent metal supply over here. We would have to kind of cross over somewhere in here and make our way over. There's some metal up here. Not a ton, although not a bad location for it. But I'm envisioning kind of an industrial area, kind of right up here, so we can take advantage of the water as our power source. And then we can finally get rid of this nonsense down here. So why don't we kind of start to think about how we would actually get up there? We could come up this way. It's actually not terrible. It is, yeah, it's not horribly far. We could actually come up right here, because we already have this path coming up here. I do think that we're actually missing an opportunity for a pretty easy house them up like this. Should we unlock the... Yeah, we got so much science. Let's get the large row house. We can get one right here. Get that in there. And then we are going to have to get a roof on there, obviously. Not sure how we're going to build it, but we'll kind of get there. And then we also need... We're going to need a roof there. Not really sure how we're going to build that one either. Maybe what I'll do is I'll back this out and go up like that. And that should allow us to build that that roof fairly easily. Kind of like what we did here. Kind of serves double purpose. Allows us to build the roof and then also make our way up. But alright. See how they're doing on this. Okay, cool. So they got all the platforms built. So now it's just a question of building the actual houses. Which will be good. And our water seems to kind of fluctuated there for a second. But we can actually pause the power wheel because it's not needed while these are operational for the cassava production. But alright, we are starting to get a decent supply. I am going to set these to supply goods. So hopefully if we have haulers who are available, they'll come over and move them over here. Just because they're easier for the fermenters to grab them. But we are maxed out on cassava. Fermented cassava, so that's okay. But alright, so how are we going to get up here? I do think we're just going to do this. Path up, just like that. So why don't we prioritize that? And then, do we have any wood storage? Not really. I kind of feel bad just demolishing these oaks. But at the same time, if we don't have the storage for them, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Tell you what I might do. Is I might put some wood storage up here for our industrial area. So why don't we get path here, and then is there a way that we can kind of snake our way over to where I kind of want this wood storage? Alright, so I'm going to tuck these two wood storages right here. One. We're only going to be able to get one for now. So I do need this to go away. Delete, mark resources. Get rid of that. And then we will throw a couple lumberjacks up here on high priority. And then we will cut all of these trees. Get rid of those. And then there's really no reason to do this because this is just temporary, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, cool. So hopefully we can get some cutters up here. Get rid of some of these trees. And then we'll go ahead and tuck a storage right here. Okay, perfect. And then I also want to get rid of this. Get rid of those stairs. Get rid of them. All right. And this will be for logs. Then we can actually straighten out this path a little bit. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. Then we can get another log storage in here. Get that done. And then I think I have a pretty interesting vision of what this industrial area is going to look like, and I think you guys are going to like it. That being said, it is going to take us a minute to actually build it. So I wonder if I put just like a temporary set of stairs there, will they be able to build that roof? And our water just keeps fluctuating for some reason. Not really sure why. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Again, we've got tons of cassava. I'm just curious as to why. That's okay, though. But alright, so these guys are cutting down these trees up here, and then once these are all clear, we will then be able to start our building project. I think I'm actually going to put one more log storage up here. Just because logs they're so important for production. An injured beaver. Why doesn't he go to the medical beds? We have perfectly good medical beds for him to use. I'm going to get one more log storage, just because logs are so key to producing so many different things that I think it would be good to get some logs going. Yeah, and our water production is just not keeping up. So I do actually want to get these up and running. I don't know if we need all of them. We'll kind of see how we do. Let's add 3 for now. And see how that does. I mean, it should, in theory, increase our water pretty good. Alright, and they are building more water storage, which is good. We can go ahead and get rid of this woodcutter, and then we can go ahead and add our third wood pile in there. And we'll get that built. How are we doing on housing? Yeah, see, that is too far away. That's okay. We can add a triple platform here with a path so that gets built. And then I think once these trees are all gone, we can go ahead and start to build some of this housing. So why don't we add this to medium high priority, and then all of this, all of that. So that's all the housing now is what I want them building on. Except for this. I need the roof done. The roof is the priority, obviously. So now we can get that roof done, and then we can go ahead and delete that nonsense. Okay, so these are now done. So we can go ahead and delete both of these. And now we are going to start to get some storage for some of the other stuff that we're going to need. So I'm thinking that we will get 2 storages for planks. These planks are always good. We will get a storage for scrap, and a storage for maybe 2 for scrap and 2 for metal blocks. Is that excessive? I don't think so. I mean, we got tons of space, so. So what are these? Scrap, and then these will be metal blocks. There we go. We have a bad tide approaching. Excellent. That's what we love to see. And then, should I shift these so that I can have stairs? Yeah, I think that's actually what I want to do. So, if I delete those, that will change this staircase, though. Will it? I don't know. Let's see. So if we put some platforms out here, just so I can map this out. So if we get a large storage there, and then a large storage there, these will be for metal blocks. Right? So we got scrap, scrap, metal blocks, planks, tons of wood. Okay. So now... see, this is kind of awkwardly placed. So why don't we get rid of this set of stairs. And then we will come out like this. This path can go away. It might come out this way, not sure. But that path can go away for now. Let's get rid of this path. I know that this is all disconnected. Now, the question is, am I going to want another district up here? Or is this close enough? I kind of think I'm going to want another district up here. So if that's the case, if we go into our district crossing and unlock that, it's kind of an awkward size. But if I were to put it here, right, we would then need to get up here. So we can get up here like this. With some stairs up. Like that. We could then fill this area with another large storage. So we've got planks, scrap metal, metal blocks. I guess this could be... we don't need dirt here. We do need treated planks. I guess we could get one storage for treated planks. So that's all of our storage now. Because these each hold 180. Is that enough storage, or am I going to want more? I think I'll want one more for planks. And then... so let's see. This is now 3 for planks, 2 for scrap, and maybe 3 for metal blocks. And then 1 for the treated planks. I don't think we need more than 1 for the treated planks, honestly. But okay. So now let's kind of map out some of the other stuff that we're going to want in here. Okay, and we have a bad tide approaching. So we'll continue to let this water come out, but we're going to need to watch this for a minute so that we switch these when the time comes. How are we doing for water? We got 1.4. I'm going to pause 2 more of the breeding pods. I'm kind of worried that we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. And then we're just going to dump all this water off the side here. And that should work as intended. Let's see, we still got water coming down. So once this hits, we will go ahead and switch these. Switch these over, and then we're gonna have to pause our water pumps, but I want to keep the water pumping for as long as we can, although we are in the middle of the night, so not the end of the world. And if a little bit of the bad tide water gets through, it's not the end of the world. It won't start to cause damage until it's more than 50% of the water. If that makes sense. But as this starts to make its way down, we'll just go ahead and open these up. I wish there was a way that I could automate this. I know that there are mods, but I just haven't really gotten into the Timberborn mods too much. Not too much, anyway. But alright, so that bad tide water is just about here. So we will go ahead and open this up. See if we can make it through like a full day. Yeah, I think that's good. So now we'll just open this up, drain all that out. And hopefully, yep, so that is working as intended. Diverting the bad tide. And now we are going to need to pause these. We should have enough water. 1.7k in water is pretty significant. And we do have an unemployed beaver for the first time. We're going to need to get the power wheel up and running. Alright, let's come back up to our little project here. Alright, so we have a district crossing. We are going to delete it, actually. Because I want this district to keep building until we're ready to actually set up the new district. But let's just make sure that we kind of map it out. So that's going to go there. And then this is going to come, this path is going to come all the way down here. And then connect across like that. And then I think we're going to want a bunch of staircases. So we're going to want a staircase maybe every other going up. And this will make more sense once we figure it out. And then I guess we could put some small piles in here, or do I just want to fill this with, or do I just want to leave it empty? I think we'll leave it empty. This is kind of like the underbelly of the district, if that makes sense. Although I guess there's really no reason to not fill this area, right? To get more storage. Like that. So like for instance, this is treated planks, so these will be more treated planks. These are metal blocks. Actually, let's just make all of these little ones more logs. There we go. So that's just going to be more logs. And then I guess I could honestly throw a couple right here as well. Logs. Cool, so that there's always logs available. Then we are going to start our warehouse project. So this is going to be, let's see, warehouse here. We're going to need some platforms. Yep, so this will all be warehouses, and then the question is, what are we going to store here? So we're going to want at least 2 for gears. That's 400 gears. That's pretty substantial. What else are we going to want up here? So we are going to want probably 2 for explosives. Honestly, maybe 4 for explosives, honestly. We'll get 4. And then we could fit one here and here. So this will be... What other industrial products do we need up here? We're going to need pine resin. And then this is all bot stuff. Don't really need that. Yeah, let's get pine resin up here. And then I guess just one more for explosives. Can never have too many explosives. And then this is going to run over here. This path is going to run over here. Like that. So that's going to be all of our like industrial storage. So we got 2 for gears. Is that enough gears? Yeah, probably. It's probably enough for gears. And then we can continue with adding log storage. But then I think over here we're going to switch over and do small warehouses in here. So this one is going to be logs, but these will be gears because they're by the gears. So tons of gears will be produced. And then these are all explosives. Because we are going to need a lot of explosives. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to start to stockpile it. Alright, and then we can actually delete this. Delete this whole thing. Pick this up if there's storage for it, which there really should be at this point. There really should be. Alright, so the bad tide is just cooking along, and we have made it to the end of this episode. And I'm not sure if you guys can tell what I'm going to do here, but I'm actually going to build the industrial area on top of this whole thing. And I actually just realized that I kind of made a mistake. I'm going to need some stairs. So let's get rid of these and these. We're going to put some stairs up, like this. And I'm not sure if that's going to keep going, but I might just put some stairs down there. But I'm going to build the entire industrial area on top of this. Hopefully these get picked up. No storage available for logs? Yes, there is. Oh yeah, okay. It just took a minute to figure itself out. Alright, there absolutely is storage available, but they just don't understand. But alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out, and I hope you guys like the content enough to consider it. Until next time, I will see you guys, so have a great day. Thanks. Bye.